opening up Premiere Pro for the first time, you'll get this dialog box. And again, Premiere Pro, when you open, is this purple square on below that says PR for Premiere Pro. And right now on our left, we'll see some old projects that we've previously opened, or we can, if it's not there, this is a recent ones. These, it'll show the last usually like four or so, three or four. And then if it's not there, you can just hit the folder to open. But I want to make a new one, so I'm going to hit where it says create new. I'm going to hit new project. And once I hit that, this screen is going to come up, and it's going to say untitled. So I'm going to title my project, and I'm going to call it Parkour, because that's the footage I'm working with. I'm going to select Browse, because I want to save it somewhere where I know where it is. And I'm going to put it in my external hard drive. And I'm going to put it in my folder TK Files, which is my folder. And I'm going to call it, actually, before I save it there, I want to call it Parkour_2, because there is a previously project named that. So I'm going to go back, hit the hard drive, hit my folder, hit choose. Display format, we want to see the time code, so we're going to leave that the same. Audio samples, that's fine for the display format. And HDV for HD, we're completely fine with that as well. We would go to DV if we're working with standard footage. So let's hit OK. And give it a second, and now my project has been loaded. There's my Premiere Pro project. So let's cover the basis of, what these screens are. The first screen to my left here, where I'm circling with my cursor, that's my source monitor. And in my source monitor, you're going to have also a tab for effect controls, where you can make some changes to the video. You're also going to have audio clip for the mixer to see some levels. And then you're going to see metadata for some of the information of your footage. The next screen over here is the program monitor. That's putting your movie when you put the puzzle pieces together, which is going to happen below on my timeline, which we see over there, where I'm hovering my mouse over now. That's where we put the puzzle pieces together in the clips. In between, next to the left of the timeline, we have our tool palette, where we can make some cuts. Then we have over here, we have our project panel to the left of the tool palette, and we have a couple of folders in there. We have our media browser in there where you can search for footage. We have information. There's also an effects tab in here, which we'll use a lot, markers, and history. So it's really the setup here with what we're going for when you just begin Premiere Pro. And now let's bring in some footage. We want to import some footage, so I'm just going to click. It says in my project panel here, it says import media to start. So let's go to File, Import, or the shortcut would be Command and the letter I. And let me go to where I have my Parkour footage. Let's see, I think I have it in the Macintosh HD folder, which I do. Let's bring in a folder of media here. Let's just bring in one folder. So I didn't have to select it by clip, I just selected it by folder. And the entire folder is coming in to Premiere Pro right now. It's loading up as we speak. And there it is. If I double click on that folder, there's going to be all of my footage in that folder right there. And if I double click on one of these footage, there it is. I'm going to have it in my source monitor. Now if I select an in point and an out point, an I to know, and I insert it in my timeline here, so I have to drag a piece of clip. It doesn't work just inserting. You have to drag it in to make a timeline appear. And when I dragged it in, notice the timeline appeared there. So I'm going to call this movie 1, for example. So there it is. It matched my settings. I made it when I prepared the footage, right? So I have a clip of my source, program, and timeline. Remember, when you bring something in, wherever this indicated blue indicator is where your clip is going to go. Now say if I want to make another sequence. File, New, Sequence, or Command N. If I did that, you're going to get a couple information up here. It really depends on the type of camera that you used and the type of footage you recorded at and the information of the camera. So you really have to look at the camera settings. Like for me, I use a Canon XF camera. So Premiere Pro has a setting for this camera already. It really depends on the content that you're using. And that's going to come out to get you Premiere Pro. So this is a basic setup for Premiere Pro. Remember, you have your settings here and all that stuff that we went through. We named all the bins, the project, and the organization of it, and that'll get you started before we start making bins.